Have you ever witnessed a family land dispute here in Ghana? Maybe it started small, an argument over a boundary lines or inheritance. But before long, people stop greeting each other. Court cases begin. Sometimes, blood is even shed over who owns a small piece of soil. It's painful to watch. Land, like power or position, can bring out both the best and worst in us. And we want fairness, but we also want what benefits us. And when fairness and benefit don't meet, trouble brews. But God has something to say about that. In today's word, we are taken into one of the most delicate moments of Israel's journey, the sharing of the promised land. In Numbers 33 verse 50 through to 34 verse 29, it's not just about borders, it's about spiritual posture. God tells Moses to give clear instructions. First, drive out the inhabitants of Canaan, remove their idols, their ways, their altars. Then, divide the land equally by lots, by tribe, based on population. But he doesn't stop there. He names the leaders who will supervise the distribution, tribe by tribe. It may seem like logistics, but it's deeper than that. This is about order, fairness, and spiritual purity. God wanted his people to live in peace and not in pieces. And here's where it hits home. For our students, land may seem far off, but think about scholarship opportunities, group assignments, or internships. When it's time to share, are you fair? Or do you manipulate the system to your own advantage? To our professionals, office politics often revolve around promotions, resources, and influence. How do you handle sharing credit, or budgets, or office responsibilities? When a new opportunity opens, do you step aside for others, or hoard it for yourself? Perhaps Sierra Tyree, looking at your legacy, how will the things you've built be passed on? In peace or in confusion? Pastors and ministry leaders face this too. How are church lands, roles, and ministry opportunities distributed? Is it by God's leading or by human favoritism? Even for the market women, artisans, and apprentices, sharing a table, a store, or even tools can be a source of tension. The same principles apply. In Ghana, we say, "Sell passenger, jinsem timu." If you want peace, be willing to settle even the small matters. God's instruction to Israel reminds us that peace does not come automatically. It is designed, led, upheld by God's wisdom. Without his involvement, even blessings can become battlefields. You see, God didn't just say, "Go and share the land." He gave boundaries. He selected leaders by name. He commanded the removal of corrupting influences before the sharing began, because without removing idols and distractions, even divine inheritance can be misused. And isn't that our story sometimes? We want breakthrough, elevation, property, promotion, but we don't clear the spiritual ground first. So what's meant to be a blessing becomes a curse. So, what is the word calling us to today? It's a call to involve God in every act of sharing, especially the things that hold weight: land, money, influence, leadership. It's a reminder that fairness is not human invention. It flows from divine justice. God did not ask Moses to share the land based on popularity, bribery, or tribal favoritism. He asked for obedience, clarity, and spiritual discernment. That's how sustainable peace is built. So today, pause and ask, in what area of my life am I struggling to share fairly? What inhabitants or idols must I remove before I can steward God's blessings rightly? When I'm placed in a position to allocate or distribute, do I reflect God's justice? And as you head into this week, may this word linger with you. Let the Lord guide your sharing, so your portion may not become your prison. Let this be your prayer. Lord, grant me the courage and wisdom to challenge injustices in the distribution of resources in my home, my workplace, and my nation. Help me to lead with fairness and to honor your name in how I handle what you place in my hands. Amen. In all things, remember, the God who gives inheritance is also the God who governs justice. Involve him before you share anything. Amen.